So today we're going to be looking at breathing, and we're going to be doing 3 breathing techniques, okay? You've probably all heard to breathe deeply when you're stressed, but some of you might not be really all that sure why you're told to do it. So these are 3 different breathing techniques with names that you probably won't forget, and they can be used at kind of different points in your day. So a lot of you are already, doing it. You breathe, you naturally breathe. If we weren't breathing, we weren't alive, okay? It's a tool we already have, but we really don't know how to fully harness this tool, okay? Some of you might just know that if I breathe deeply, I'm going to feel better, but there is a whole plethora of breathing techniques that you can do for different points in your life, different stresses in your life, different results, okay? So we breathe for different results and different benefits. So the first style of breathing that we're going to look at is whiskey breathing, okay? So it's quite early in the morning. So this is probably going to be a really nice one for you, but this is a down regulating breath, which means that it helps us to kind of really relax, and it sort of gets us into a sleepy state. It slows you down and it chills you out, and it's like a smooth glass of whiskey, okay? So if you had a glass of whiskey, whether you drink or not, you probably know that it's going to give you a little bit of that, down regulating relaxation. So when we slow down, we stimulate what's called your parasympathetic nervous system. So you've got 2 kind of channels of existence. One sympathetic, okay? Me getting ready for this live was a little bit like the sympathetic nervous system was going crazy. I wish that I could show you the amount of tech in front of me. And I'm also at Harriet's desk, so it's all a little bit different. So now I'm quite happy that I'm going to do some breath work, because your parasympathetic nervous system is when you relax, rest, and digest. Okay, so why is this good? When we move away from that sympathetic, that nervous system, we slow down the heart, we improve digestion, we reduce tension, and we improve our mental health. All things that we want to do. So this type of breath is ideal when you don't really want to get that active or engaged. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend this before you had to go and do a bunch of grocery shopping, or before you had to go and host a dinner. This is not the breath you want to do. Okay, it's not something you do before a meeting or a presentation, okay? If you want to digest a big meal, so we've got Christmas, it might look a little bit different than normal coming up. After you digest that meal, if anybody's watching from the States, Thanksgiving, you want to do this whiskey breath to help digest your food. And it's a really good one if you struggle with sleep, okay? So if you want to improve your sleep or have deeper sleep, I would highly recommend doing this breath before you go to bed, okay? Or if you want to really unwind after a stressful day. So whiskey breath is the one for that. It's a really nice one to do at the end of the day. I'd highly recommend it. So what you can do to practice this breath is that you can sit down, okay, or you can lie down. So depending on where you are right now, just get yourself nice and cozy. And you're going to inhale for the count of 4, okay, 4 breath inhale. And then you're going to hold for the count of 4. And then you're going to exhale through the nose for the count of 4. And then you're going to hold for the count of 4. So I like to imagine a box, okay, when I'm breathing. So I inhale, I draw a line on the box. I hold, I draw a line. I exhale, I draw a line. And then I hold and I draw a line. And that's my completed breath, okay? So we're going to do 10 of these breaths. And I really want you to just kind of focus on that visualization of drawing the square, or focus on just the movement and the sensation of the breath. So closing your eyes, getting yourself nice and comfortable. You can be lying down, okay? If you've just turned this on and you're still in bed, then feel free to lie down. So we're going to inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. In 4, out 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. In 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Out 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. In 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Out 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep going. In 4. Hold. Out. hold, in, hold, out, hold. You got 5 more left here, guys. Nice and slow. In, 4. Hold. Out. Hold. In. Hold. Out. Hold. In. Hold. Out. Hold. Last one here. In, 4. Hold. Out. Hold. Good. Okay. Keep the eyes closed. Just tune into how you're feeling. Notice any changes. Hopefully you're feeling a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more calm. Nice. And then just flutter the eyes open. So that's your whiskey breath, and you should just feel, okay? So if you could imagine being quite stressed or struggling to sleep, okay, even if you wake up in the middle of the night and your brain's buzzing like crazy and you can't get to sleep, do that whiskey breathing. I promise you, you'll get back to sleep. Okay, so the next style of breathing that we're going to do, we're going to save coffee for the end because it's early in the morning. So we're going to do water breathing. There's no swimsuit required, okay? So this is a balancing breath. Okay, so it's a really good one to help you feel calmer and grounded. It's not going to make you sort of collapse or drop as deep as the whiskey breath. Okay, it's a style of breathing that will get you 4 to 6 breaths a minute. So it's much slower, and this breath evens out how you're feeling. And the really nice thing is that it is really balanced breath, okay? If you're feeling stressed, it will calm you down. If you're feeling sad, it might make you feel lighter. If you're feeling jittery, it will ground you. So unlike the whiskey breath where, you might be going into a meeting or perhaps a presentation, this water breath might be good to do before it. If you're feeling a little bit jittery, if you're feeling a little bit unsettled, this is a really nice one. Okay, you don't need to be anywhere special to do this kind of breathing. Whiskey breath I wouldn't recommend when you're driving. I wouldn't recommend if you need to be alert. But this one you could do while you're driving. Okay, if you're stuck in traffic, you could do this water breathing, just like a glass of water. Okay, the clue's in the name. You can have water whenever you want. Whiskey, you probably shouldn't have it exactly whenever you want. Okay, so you could do it at the dinner table. If you're feeling quite stressed in a moment, you can do water breathing and no one will know. That's a really good thing about it. You just breathe. Okay, and it just looks quite natural. I do it quite often. I get a little bit anxious in the car with other people driving. It's a control thing. And instead of sort of being a backseat driver, which I am so guilty of doing, that I just do this breathing. And it helps to kind of convince myself that I'm not going to die. So this breath is always suitable and it's super safe, okay? And everyone should be able to practice this. I would teach everyone that this kind of breathing. If you're a parent, teach your children this kind of breathing. It would be really good, okay? Exams, sitting down before you start to write that exam, or if you're feeling like really anxious, then doing this kind of breathing. So it's super easy. You're just going to breathe in through the nose for 4 and then out through the nose for 4. Okay, so again, your eyes can be open when you're doing this. You could be just tapping your fingers on the table or your steering wheel, or you could just be counting in your head. So your choice, you can either have your eyes open or eyes closed for this. We're going to do 10 rounds of our water breathing, and you'll notice it's going to go a lot faster than the whiskey breathing because we don't have those retentions, those holds. Okay, so breathing in for 4, out 4. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, and out, in, and out, in, and out. Good. I want you to take 5 more on your own. Eyes can be open or closed, whatever works for you. Just feel the gentle rise and fall of the chest, of the shoulders. What's really good about this breath as well is because you're focusing on the counts and the inhale and the exhale, the anxious chitter chatter in the brain just starts to slowly switch off or fade to the background. And then this is going to affect the way you're feeling. Nice. And then just return to natural breath. So that water breath you can do whenever you want, just like you can have a glass of water. And it's really good to ground you, really good to just calm you down. It could be used in, a plethora of scenarios. Okay, so the last breath that we're going to do, and I don't drink so much caffeine anymore. I try to use yoga practice to wake me up. So we're going to do coffee breathing. So whether or not you love coffee, okay, this is a really good style of breathing, and it's caffeine free and it gets you kind of going for your day. So the clue's in the name, okay? This is a breath that gets you moving, and opposite to whiskey, which is a down regulating breath, this is an up regulating breath. So whoop, brings you up, okay, and it sort of gets you a little bit ready for your day, okay? So it's important to know that this is a stimulating breath, so we're stimulating the sympathetic nervous system. So you probably hear in yoga all the time people talking about how we want to move away from the sympathetic nervous system, but the sympathetic nervous system is still super, super needed, okay? We need it for so many scenarios. I would really highly recommend, if you're someone who feels really stressed and sees stress as like a really negative thing, read a book called The Upside to Stress, okay? This book really changed my views on stress. Do I think that we need to stay in sympathetic all the time? No, I believe in balance, but I think it's important to kind of see the positive sides of the sympathetic nervous system because there are huge, huge positive sides. So in water breath, we're doing 4 to 6 breaths a minute. In whiskey breath, it's much less. This breathing technique is going to get us 20 or more breaths a minute. So we're going to really pump that breath into the body. So you might want to do this style of breathing if you struggle to wake up in the morning, okay? If you're always reaching for that coffee, or if you really just can't get out of bed, this is an amazing one. We're at that time of year where it's just dark, okay? So to get yourself going in a really natural way, this coffee breath is phenomenal. It's great to do before sport, before you need to get yourself hyped up, a big task. Maybe you've got a lot of cleaning to do and you're just like, right, I need to get myself together to do this bit of cleaning. It's just a really nice breath to kind of get that adrenaline pumping. So this style of fast breathing reduces CO2 in our bloodstream, okay? And it leads to a constriction of your breathing passageways and your veins. Oh, it all sounds really scary, okay? But it's not if we don't do it for prolonged periods of time. So do I want you to be doing coffee breathing like the entire day? No, I also don't want you to drink coffee the entire day. We know that we can't drink coffee as our only beverage, and the more coffee we have, the more anxious we feel, etc. The sort of impacts. So just like this style of breathing, we're doing it for a short period of time, quick glass of coffee, maybe espresso, and then, we leave it, but those benefits are going to come, okay? So there's no harm in doing this for a short period of time. If you were to go for a run, you'd be taking really fast breaths. No one's saying, oh my God, you shouldn't do that because you're breathing quickly. So it should be practiced briefly and with care. If this is something that your doctor has said, like you shouldn't be getting your heart rate up and you shouldn't be breathing quickly, then I wouldn't suggest coffee breath, okay? Some doctors will say to people not to have coffee, so maybe coffee breath is not for you. I wouldn't practice this while driving, okay? This is not just like whiskey breath, okay? You can have a coffee while you're driving, but I wouldn't recommend coffee breathing while you're driving. So you're going to practice this somewhere that you feel comfortable, Okay, and you're going to exhale sharply through your nose as if you were sneezing. So, okay, you might want to, if you got any boogers in there, you might want to blow your nose before you do this. You're going to keep your face, neck, and shoulders and chest still while you sneeze the air out, okay? So you're trying not to like move everything in the body. And after you force the breath out, you're going to relax, and a partial inhale will happen on its own. So we're not focusing on inhales here. We're focusing on exhales. We're going to do 3 rounds of 20. I'll just demonstrate what it looks like first, okay? So this is sometimes called Capillary breathing in yoga, and it's a skull shining breath. And basically the reason it's called a skull shining breath is because you get a little bit dizzy doing it, which is why we don't recommend doing it while you're driving. So an easier, more accessible name is coffee breathing. So what it looks like is so I'm breathing out through my nose. Okay, if you were to feel in front of my nose, I promise I've blown it. There's nothing coming, but it's just air coming out, and I'm not really focusing on the inhale. So try it a few times. Okay, take a big breath in and then go. Okay, so we're going to go 3 rounds back to back, doing this for 20. So take a big breath in. Let's go for 4. Big inhale in. Big inhale out. Exhale, that is. Take an inhale to prep, little one. And let's go, next 20. Big inhale. Exhale. Tiny inhale. Last round. Big inhale. Big exhale. And then just return to natural inhale and exhale. So you should be feeling a little bit jazzy, okay? A little bit ready for your day. And you can do this as many times as you want, all right? I do longer rounds, so I don't do 20. I do sometimes up to 60. But I've been obviously practicing a lot longer. You don't want to get to the point where you feel like exasperated and like you can barely breathe. 20 is a really good place to start. If 20 was a challenge for you, drop it down to 10, okay? Do 3 rounds. See how you feel. If you need another quick shot of coffee, do another 3 rounds. So hopefully that was informative. So you've got coffee breathing, quick, 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 fires up the body. You've got water breathing, which is balanced, 4 and 4. And then you got that whiskey breathing that really helps to down regulate. You breathe in for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, hold for 4. Okay. All of these breaths you can start by doing rounds of 10. And then build from there. The coffee breathing, I would do 3 rounds of the same number. Okay, maybe starting with 10 or 20. So hope that was helpful for you guys. If you've got any questions, let me know.